Trucker. Dockers. Roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
For a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the We P3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Trucker.
Good evening. It's Andrea Eichmann here. I am coming at you with the People's Patriot Project. We're here bringing you our weekly show called We Got Your 6 at 6. Every week we bring you a guest, and many times we bring a music artist, and then we share all the good and sometimes not so good things happening in our world. This week We have some really awesome guests. We're here with Amanda Brown. She'll be sharing Battlin Betties. And then we have music with Dawn Rix. It's been awesome catching up with Dawn. Oh gosh, like the last 20 minutes or so. Can't wait to hear more about some good things going on with Dawn. Our sponsors for tonight's episode include Green Hills Contracting. This is a veteran-owned and operated contracting company out of Moberly, Missouri. Thank you to Timothy Newton for making that connection for us. We have Catch 22 with Derek Iozio, Operation Texas Strong with the Krutzingers, the Boho Hobos Hideaway with Miss Lauren, and then we have Brian Kenzer. He's normally with us. He supports WP3 with his business called Smart Living Today. This is about American-made products and a stream to help support the People's Patriot Project while you're shopping. It's all about making good choices for your health, supporting American families, jobs, and the economy, and then supporting those of us that support those who have served. Check it out. I just put a link in. He is always available, except when he's out fighting fires or captaining big ships in big waters. It's fun stuff. The People's Patriot Project, We Got Your 6 at 6, can also be heard on Rees Across America Radio, Sunday evenings at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find it just by searching Wreaths. Look in the Odyssey app, the iHeartRadio app, and the iTunes app. Go get a listen. There's a lot of other shows you can hear out there as well. Thank you to our sponsors, our guests, and our viewers. Before we start this week's show, we are going to ask that you take off your hats, stand if you can, cover your heart, and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
Of America.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Boom! Here we go. Here we go. Let's grow.
That was almost in sync.
It's better than 8th graders on Monday mornings, I'll tell you that.
That's true.
We just need to teach Peterson right. It's fine.
It is such a weird nuance, and we went without the little transcription of the pledge for the longest time, but there's lags in people's computers because we're coming from all over the country, and so you could never ever get it on sync. And even with the little transcription there, you're supposed to say it as it crosses the crust, and it doesn't work. The
I don't follow instructions very well.
What's that?
I don't follow instructions very well. Sorry.
We learned this. Yeah. Here's the greatest part of the story. Everyone on screen, other than Sarah, and we apologize, Sarah, we've all had the chance to get our paws on each and every one of these people on the screen because we've all been in each other's spaces. And that's an exciting part of our network. We met Dawn years and years ago, and she's like one of the, we call her the queen of veterans.
The old lady.
No.
She has been here from the beginning with us, and it's been an amazing ride. She's generally in Nashville, and right now she's in West Virginia. And then we met the Browns. They're from the Nashville area, Tennessee, but we met them in Maine last summer as we got the chance to do some lobster boils and eat some blueberries. And
That you hated.
if you have not eaten a blueberry from Maine, you have not eaten a blueberry, in my opinion. It is a different thing.
True story.
Different
Fact.
thing.
And we had the best guide for it. So
Yeah.
stopping on the side of the road, picking that blueberry.
Wow.
It was amazing. The week was amazing. The friendships that were built were amazing. The event was amazing. Reason Across America is amazing. It just all, and it's veterans and first responders picking up the charge to do more stuff that we don't have to do. And the reality is, the men and women have chosen to sign the dotted line. Don't have to do that. They don't have to do it. They made a choice to be about something bigger than themselves. And I've taken a minute this week to kind of reflect more and find the people that are leading this charge and people that don't necessarily fit in like what I believe, which is, I mean, I'm capable of doing that. But there's some new people that we've reached out to that I may not have reached out to in years past, just because there's other overarching pieces that we don't connect with, and that is what it is. But bottom line is, this is about America, man. This is we the people, the People's Patriot Project, and we come here every Sunday to share boots on the ground organizations and veteran and first responder musicians that have continued to contribute to making our world a better place. And we're not going to shy away from that mission. And I need to be less of Mark Peterson sometimes to realize that other people are in that mission that don't necessarily sound like Mark Peterson sometimes. We don't get political a lot on here, but I found someone that I found someone on the other side of the aisle this week that I absolutely adore. And I didn't say what side, right? I didn't say that. And then I also found someone that lives another lifestyle other than me, which isn't a bad thing, that I'm like, come on board, man. Let's kick the snot out of this and do it together. And we'll see what happens, man. I hope it's time, man. It's time. We have I'm going to call it a blank canvas. We have a blank canvas when it comes to America because we're redefining everything as we go. And again, our country's not even 300 years old, and look at the growth that we've had. And that's the theme and theory I keep going with. I had a dynamic conversation with a 15-year-old student this week about what that sounded like and looked like. And they had their stuff together, and they were just like, let's do it this way. And I'm like, you're right. And here's the truth. Not that it matters. Their skin was a different color than mine. Their religion was their lifestyle was another than mine. And they're just like, lead the way, sister. Go do it. Get it done, man. And that's what it's got to be about. Check out our crew, man. We've got the Browns. And I won't try to say Sarah's last name, but they can say it again. It's spelled simply. Cassesi. Yes. Cassesi. I'll say it again. Cassesi.
There you go.
Cassesi. Now, if I spell it and try and say it again, I'm going to mess it up, but that's okay. No one needs to spell
I'm like,
it.
is it easier if I tell you her pinup name? Is that easier?
Yeah. What's that?
Magnolia Scout.
Oh, that's
Scout.
I gave her that pinup name.
She did.
Yeah.
Yes. And I have a pinup name. You didn't even know.
What is it?
It's AJ Diamond.
I don't think I knew that.
I don't think you did either.
I don't have a pinup name, so don't
He
ask.
has a road name though. Yes, I have she used to be a Girl Scouts employee and involved with Girl Scouts, and her favorite flower is magnolia.
Okay. I was hoping she rode a Scout because I liked the company that makes those. And that's,
I mean, she might, but that's a whole different podcast.
we're talking motorcycle too. That's
Okay.
motor.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. I didn't. Sorry.
I mean, riding the Scout at this time could probably send you to jail, so we won't probably go that route.
Okay,
True.
whole different podcast.
Scout, if you be a cavalry Scout.
Okay, I'm changing the subject. She's a veteran. She was a firefighter, and she's a first responder. So EMT.
All the boxes.
And then I made her into a girl. Yes.
And we're going to get into more about that and what this pinup girl stuff is. But we also got Dawn Rix in the house.
Hey.
She's been here with the People's Patriot Project for a long time. I hope Andrea has taken time. There's one of my favorite pictures. A couple years ago, we did the WP3 Nashville takeover, and Dawn came and saw us. And there's a picture that Andrea and Dawn are together. I'm actually in the picture too, but one of us is working. The other fun. So I got a little bitter. I got a little butthurt about that, and so we'll get through that. Anyway, Miss Eichmann, can you tell us what the news is?
Oh my goodness, I thought that you might never ask. Thank you. There are a lot of things on this list, and Jonathan's not here to share. So I'm going to try to get through these. Three big ones. May is the month of National Military Appreciation. Congress designated May as National Military Appreciation Month in 1999 to ensure the nation was given the chance to publicly show their appreciation for troops past and present. May was chosen because it has many individual days marked to note our military's achievements, including Loyalty Day, Victory Day in Europe, commemorating the end of World War II, and Children of Fallen Patriots Day. May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. It is a time to raise awareness of and reduce the stigma surrounding behavioral health issues, as well as highlighting the ways how mental health illness and addiction can affect all of us. The stigma around mental health and treatment has long existed, even though this has started to change. The more you talk about it, the more normalized it will become. The theme for the month is Turn Awareness into Action. May is also the month of the military caregiver. This is observed every May to honor and support the people who care for wounded, ill, or injured service members. It's a time to recognize the caregivers' contributions and to raise awareness of the challenges they face. It's also a time to honor and recognize that selfless dedication of those who are caring for the injured, ill, and wounded service members and veterans, and provides an opportunity to express gratitude to the approximately 5 million caregivers in the United States. May 4th is International Firefighters Day. Wait, that's today. May 4th is International Firefighters Day. This raises awareness of the importance and safe use of fire. In 2020, U.S. fire departments responded to an average of 26.9 million incidents, which translates to about 74,000 incidents per day. Holy cow. The U.S. Fire Admin reported that 64% of fire department runs in 2020 were related to EMS and rescue. There are approximately 1.2 million firefighters in the U.S. This includes career, volunteer, and paid per call firefighters, as well as civilian staff and non-fighting personnel. Around 52%. And I know that in a lot of little, smaller and rural communities, sometimes the fire department is volunteer. So thank you to all of those firefighters. And I've shared this a couple of times, but I just recently watched, oh my gosh, what's the Brave? Oh crap. I forgot the name of the movie.
Only the Brave.
The ones about the firefighters in Arizona.
Only the Brave. Only the Brave.
Thank you. Thank you. So worth the watch. Incredibly worth the watch. Thank you very much. Okay, I have two more. May 9th coming up is National Military Spouse Appreciation Day. This is on the Friday preceding Mother's Day. It shows appreciation for the commitment and sacrifice that the spouses of service members make, together with the rest of the family, while they are on the mission to defend the country. The day was initiated to recognize the importance of empowering military spouses and ensuring they have what they need to thrive. And then May 10th through 16th next week is National Mental Health Awareness Week. The whole week within the month is an opportunity for the whole country to focus on the mental health crisis and bring it up front and center. It's time to end the stigma surrounding mental health and put the lives and wellness of those around us in our focus. That's news. And Dylan,
Amazing.
good to see you too. Thank you.
Dylan Petrie, great to have him here. We've got the DI. He changed his name. We got the DI here, Derek Iozio. We used to call him the Godfather, but now he's the DI. You guys know the real and we got some exciting news coming up, but we got to wait for a board meeting before we can share the exciting news.
Right.
But we'll get there. I mean, it is what it is. I do want to give a real quick shout out to Jonathan Crochet, Mrs. Parfait, and Dylan Petrie for doing a table event down in Louisiana this last weekend. Thank you for doing that, guys. It is getting the message out there. Andrea if I switch that one, it's the wrong one. Sorry. People on the podcast won't know this, but we've got an order where people got to be in. This is not the right order. And so my ODHDOCABAG gets all flared up and I can't handle it.
Look, while you're messing with that, I'm going to put this picture up quick.
There we go. Dylan in the house.
Down there in Louisiana, working hard at the VFW boil off. I'm trying to remember exactly, but they made some crawfish in the boil. Yeah.
How have any of our panel members have you been to Louisiana before? Amanda, Jeremy, and or Sarah?
Yes.
Have you been to Louisiana? Okay.
I have. Yeah. No.
They eat differently down there, and I don't know that I put anything. I gotta make sure I say this correctly. I'll say it this way. I don't know that I've eaten anything down in that area that I don't like. And do you guys like boudin?
Yeah, it's some good Creole food down there. Legit Creole food.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I'm a huge boudin favorite. And then I came home, and I made a gigantic, about 80 pounds of it, which I don't know why you need to make 80 pounds of it. That doesn't even make sense. And it's not as good when you make 80 pounds of it as when you can just buy one from the gas station down there. It's still good. 80 pounds, not so good. That's it is what it is. We're gonna put everyone to work now. This is when we get here to the time of the show. We do it early in the show. All of our people know that we do this. If you're visiting here, this is what we do. I just lost my power. We'll deal with that later. Everyone has a device on them, and this is our time. And I say this every weekend. I got to get this graphic set up and put in here. But this is check your six time. And what does that mean? That means, first of all, are you all right? You know, you do a personal check. It's like being on that airplane, and thank goodness we don't have to worry about any of us have been in that situation. But they say, put your mask on you first before you worry about putting your mask on other people. So check yourself. You back when we were in training, you patted yourself down when you felt the concussion. You make sure you're okay. And if you're not okay, reach out to a buddy, reach out to a friend, reach out to an organization that will have your back. We got your six. Not just that six. That branding was amazing back when we started this whole thing. We'll get that to another time. And then you're going to take your phone and you're going to type in a text thread. And you're going to say, just thinking about you. Yeah. And you're going to copy that and you're going to send it to 6 different people. 6 different people. Does it have to be? It can't be less than 6, because then, again, check your 6 doesn't work. But it can be more than 6 because you've already done 6 and you can go over it and keep going. What'd be really cool is if you did it every day. And just every day, it takes seconds. We had Dr. Arnell last weekend. We timed her as she did it, and it took seconds to get it done. Reach out to 6 people. Just say thinking about you, it does a couple of things. First of all, it reconnects. Second of all, it just lets someone, I know when people do it to me, it's like, oh man, I got people in my corner. There's people there. I appreciate them. These are the people I care about. And then it might refix or recalibrate a relationship you didn't know that went south. Now, I am going to challenge you on one of those conversations. One of them. One that you went sideways a little bit. And you know it went sideways. You did something. Maybe it was a bad joke. Maybe you spilled some tea you weren't supposed to spill. Maybe you took advantage of a situation and you knew you pooped the bed. But you know what? I challenge you to take that one and say, hey, now I'm not telling you to reach out to an ex or anything like that. I mean, if you want to, go get her. But take the time to build and resurrect those relationships. Why are we doing this? Because 6,000 veterans a year commit suicide. That's why we're doing this. Because 6,000 people didn't get reached out to. And the thing is, I think it's more than that. And then when you get into the first responders, some of the numbers say that those numbers are double that for first responders, but they get tied up in our common folk. And the ones that did, I have another whole verbiage thing about talking about the ones that lay their big fat heads on the pills of freedom daily. And it's our men and women that go out in front of everyone else to make sure. The ones running into burning buildings, the ones that are holding the hand of your loved one taking their last breath. They don't have to do that. They chose to.
Start crying.
No crying. We'll get through it. We'll build it. We'll grow it, and we'll get bigger, better, badder. I appreciate you. Check your sticks. Get her done. Dawn Rix.
Yes, sir.
Tell us who you are. Tell us who you are.
Who I am. Okay. Well, I'm Dawn Rix. I'm from West Virginia. I'm a singer-songwriter. I did serve in the Air Force as a medical service specialist at the West Virginia Air National Guard unit right here in West Virginia. I've written a children's book, and I've been a hairstylist forever, and an autism advocate, and all that good stuff. So,
what was that last thing you just said?
I said I'm an autism advocate.
Oh, autism advocate. Okay.
Yeah, I've done that for 20 some years, 25 years.
And why do you have an interest in that space?
Well, I have two grown children, and one of them is my son, who is 27 now, and he was diagnosed with autism around between 18 months and or so after his second MMR shot. Let's just leave that there. But anyway, so since then, getting a diagnosis, unexpected diagnosis, kind of you dig your heels in and you research and you try different things to help him be as independent as possible. And over the years, I've been a support system for other parents and in a ways that I needed, in the earlier years. So I advocate. I show up at the hospital with some parents. I've been into school meetings to help with IEPs and certain things like that. And I've went up against some political things to try to get better services and group homes and financial type things for people with special needs. And it's just close to my heart. And so I do whatever I can. I started a nonprofit called autismthemissingpiece.org. It doesn't have an office. We really don't raise funds. It's just mainly resources, that 24/7 phone line that you can call, or if you need me to come out and speak for you, who has been speaking for your person, I'm just there to help.
So what I'm hearing, and this has been a theme since we started this show. I mean, I made a error. I said this was the 250th episode. This is actually the 251st episode. And Andrew did remind us. But so for 5 years, we have stumbled on the fact that veterans and first responders don't know when to slow down. They don't know when to stop. And they put too much on their plate. So that's what I'm hearing Dawn Rix does as well.
Yeah, I mean, I wear many hats, and sometimes, and maybe you can relate to this, I'm sure your guests can, sometimes staying busy is a way of dealing with things. You don't have too much time to think about things that may get you down or put you in a bad place when you stay busy. And then we also tend to put others' needs before our own. And I think that just comes naturally. It doesn't matter whether you're a veteran, a first responder, or just the average Joe. I think you either have it in your heart to serve and want to care for other people, or you don't.
Well, you said you think it comes naturally. I don't think everyone has this in them, for the record. We get to watch the news on a regular, and we see that there's plenty of people that don't really care about others. So you are one of those special ones. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's pull this other posse into here. We got the Brown Cassis crew coming in from Tennessee. Let us know who's on the screen, please.
Cassetti.
I knew it.
So I'm Amanda Brown, and as the Peterson man said, I am part of Battlin Betties. I'm a platoon leader, and my husband is the president of U.S. Veterans Motorcycle Club in Tennessee, and we're just a couple that cares about veterans. For sure. My husband calls me a professional volunteer because I volunteer with multiple veteran organizations, 4 to be exact. And I agree with Dawn that sometimes being even a veteran or first responders, I'm not a veteran or a first responder, but I have a very passionate heart for veterans. But I have a lot of health issues, so I'm not able to work. So it gives me a purpose. It takes off my mind. So I don't have to worry about the personal issues that I'm dealing with. So I agree wholeheartedly with Dawn. So the Battlin Betties have been in Tennessee exact. We celebrated our 5-year anniversary. We're an auxiliary of ladies who dress in 1940s, 1950s attire, and we do community events for veterans and first responders. Whether it be that we support U.S. Veterans Motorcycle Club or we support Fort Campbell spouses, to even doing wellness checks for first responders, either our paramedics or our sheriff or police departments. We even go as simple as just doing a wellness check where we bring them cookies or even dinner and just tell them, hey, we appreciate you. We're all over Tennessee. We have girls ranging all over Middle Tennessee, Nashville area. We have 13 girls currently, and we just became a nonprofit last year. So that was a super great accomplishment that I was very proud of my girls. That was a very hard road to get to. But I'm very proud, and I have my best friend with me, and I actually met her because of Battlin Betties. So when we say that Battlin Betties is just a volunteer group, it's not just a volunteer group, we're a sisterhood. All of our sisters, you have a child that's in the hospital, we have a child that's in the hospital. So that's one of the great things about Battlin Betties. So I'm going to let Jeremy talk about U.S. veterans, even though.
Hey.
I feel like you got pulled into this. Did you get pulled into this, Jeremy? Poof, here
ding,
you
ding,
are.
ding, ding. Yeah, we're a veteran nonprofit motorcycle club. First and foremost, we're all 100% veteran based, and we pride ourselves in being veterans helping veterans. Our entire existence is to help veterans out there that feel that the government or the VA is not giving them what they need, or it's not enough. So we take up the slack in any way possible. And the thing about our organization also is that every one of us are veterans, and every one of us were looking for something that was missing in our life when we left the military. And we found it in this organization that we call a veteran brotherhood. So we're not just out there helping other veterans, we're helping ourselves as well. So that's about it.
That's not about it. No,
That's awesome. So
it's
cool.
a constant go, constant grow, constant get it done. There is,
That's right.
And you're dealing with people. And I mean, I'd like to say I'd like to say people are awesome and amazing. And again, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but once you start dealing with people, it starts wreaking havoc on other relationships, on personal relationships, on your organizational relationships. Everyone's got stuff, and not everyone knows how to deal with stuff. And that's one of the things that we try to get here to a space. First of all, you got to have conversations. First of all, you got to be selfless. You got to give a little and not take. If you are a taker, you are a wrench in this system. And that's the reality. We stumble on occasion organizations that are taker organizations. It's like, we can't do this. And we're nice about it. And we just kind of move on and keep doing and keep moving forward. And again, we don't throw them under the bus. We just let them be. But one of the things that we found when we built the People's Patriot Project was people would call for support and they'd be like, oh my gosh, you answered the phone. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we're doing. And I'm like, tell me more. And we literally took the time to write it into our bylaws that we're here to cut the fluff. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters, if you're not doing the mission that you say you're doing, please politely bow out, join another organization, help and support another area, but don't continue to muddy the water. Our men and women are the moment they decided to reach out for support, they're already in crisis mode. They didn't plan to be in crisis. They didn't want to be in crisis. And they're at a space where they literally are taking time. I know what I would do if I needed help. I would work my ass off until I couldn't work my ass off anymore. And then I don't know who I'd ask. I don't know. I mean, I do have a pretty tight network of people, but I know my personality, it'd be the last thing to do to reach out for help and support. It would be, I can figure this out. And we've got people in our network that are like this, and they need help and support now. And we need those that are listening to reach out to the organizations that are doing it so that we can help those people, because we know who the people are also. And so we very seldom ever do this. We don't do it on our show because we want to make sure that our guests get the kind of the showcase of the evening. But the People's Patriot Project does have some asks that are in our slot right now. If you're listening and you have the means, we always ask for time, talent, and treasure, but we have some financial needs. If you are hearing this message now, please reach out to us. I will gladly let you know behind the scenes. We're not going to let you know what's on the upfront. That's because that's not our style. We're not going to throw our people under the bus and then let them flounder more because of it. But bottom line is we have people that need. I mean, we have people that come and ask in our messages regularly. We have people that email us regularly, and we have people that are in need now, folks. And that's the reality. Andrea had a unique conversation. I'm bouncing all over the place. Bear with me. I'll get there. her conversation earlier was about how many fire calls there are in a year. There are 600 million first responder calls every year. 600 million. Do that math. That's not just firefighters. Yes, we're going to honor firefighters this week because that's what we do. 600 million. Now, do the math. How many? There's only like 40 million first responders, and there's only like 6 million of people who enlist every 3 million, and then another 3 million stay in. That's 50 million, which is a big number. That's more than I can count, but covering 600 million calls. That's not even calling the military stuff. So these are traumas that are being added to people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
These are risky situations. These are injuries, both physical, emotional. These are time away from family. This is personal resources. This is all the things, folks, so that you can live safely in your humble abode. So you can, I get to do it, lay your big fat head on the pillow of freedom daily. That's not very nice, is it?
No.
I have a big fat head.
Sometimes, hey, the truth doesn't have to be nice all the time.
Sorry, not
That's
sorry.
right.
Well, it just gets a little bit ridiculous, and I'm sorry, I feel like I'm in a soapbox right now a little bit, but it gets a little ridiculous that people can aimlessly, literally drive down the road and don't give two flying fly farts about what's going on until they are personally affected by someone, and then they want to know, well, where's the help?
Sir,
Where's my stuff? And I'm just like, I have this analogy about the lovely little family that packs their picnic basket to go down to the beach. They are so happy. They've done all the things. They've raised the money. They've got the coolest little swimsuits and floaties and all the neat little stuff, but they've done nothing to prepare for the events that one of their family members goes out into the ocean and gets eaten by a shark or drowns. And now it's all for the person that's done the training, that's sitting up in the red suits, that now has to change everything about their life to go take care of the happy little family with their cute little picnic basket. And I'm like, no one takes into account the work and the effort that's put into play to keep you safe on the daily. And I'll get off I'll get off my body. Sorry. I got someone that's hurting, folks, and I want to help them. Help us, help them. Thank you. All right, done. Dawn Rix. We
Yes,
got some
sir.
music lined up for you. We got
All right.
The Chosen One, In America, Bent Not Broken, and Broken Pieces. Which one would you like to lead with?
Any of them, actually, just pick one.
Let's go the Chosen One.
All right,
Let's
that's
just go
good.
with it. Tell
That's
us
a good
about
one.
the Chosen One.
The Chosen One was something that I wrote in honor or memory of my cousin and her significant other who were killed in a motorcycle accident. They used to do a lot of veteran fundraising, a lot of bike type events and things like that. But they were on their way home one evening and they had a wreck and they both lost their life. And so it was just about a month or two prior that they had come to visit me at the VFW where I was doing a show. And she gave me some good life advice about not settling and, simplifying your life basically, and just to be happy. And she was at the happiest point of her life. She found her new love of her life and everything else. And she made me pinky swear and promise a couple things, and not just to continue to do veteran things, which she knew that I would anyway, but to not settle and to be unapologetic for a lot of things, whether it be pride for your country or whether it be who you fall in love with or whatever else. So anyway, this song is called The Chosen One. And if you closed your eyes, hopefully you could just imagine who she is. The whole point of the song was just for her not to be a stranger to the people listening. And I think by the end of the song, you're going to be like, I think I know that girl. So, and if so, that would be great.
Well, this was written on a pinky swear. This is Dawn Rix, The Chosen One.
Baltimore beauty queen, fearless and free, tattooed bare shoulder of feathers and a rosary, perfume lace leather, black painted fingertips, blondest hair, bluest of eyes, sweet cinnamon gloss lips. She could rev a man's engine, leave him in the dust, they'd say. Circle around, give an angel wink, then hit the highway. Saddled up and ready to ride, chap-covered legs, fringe down the side, full of sass, a lot of badass. She was the chosen one. She spoke soft as an angel, words outlaw, strong and bold. Never settle, do you, babes? Best advice she ever told. Her sister's secret keeper, heaven sent, hell bound. She'd say, set him up, hun, it's time for one more round. She could rev a man's engine, leave him in the dust, they'd say. Circle round, give an angel wink, then hit the highway. Saddled up and ready to ride, chap-covered legs, fringe down the side, full of sass, a lot of badass. She was the chosen one. I miss her daily wake-up call. She never missed a day, until the phone stopped ringing that one morning in May. I hear her say, pinky swear and promise, love you more than you'll ever know. Well, cheers to you, babes, for living your best life, doing it your own way. She could rev a man's engine, leave him in the dust, they'd say. Circle round, give an angel wink, then hit the highway. Riding into the sunset of glory, life had just begun. Gone too soon, but never forgotten. She was the chosen one. Crank up some Stevie Nicks for the chosen one.
You're muted, Peterson. Sorry.
It's a super lot easier to hear and see and know what's going on when the mic is on. And so that's Dawn Rix with Children One. You got a little fire in there, Dawn.
Well, I mean, yeah, typically I'm a rocker at heart, to be honest with you, but most of the music I record is country or gospel or inspirational. And but I tried to make the song as fitting as to her as possible. Stevie Nicks was her favorite. She was a rocker. So she could tell you she loved you and with a smile, and the next minute tell you to, whatever off, So it was just, that was the description I was trying to do. So hopefully it worked.
How long have you been doing this music thing?
Forever. Do I need to tell them? Forever. Let's just leave it like that.
28 years old. So since you got out of the military, so you're like 8 years.
Oh yeah, sure. So no, I've been singing since I was a little girl. My parents used to say that I was singing before I could walk. And that might be the case. I'm not sure, but uh, professionally, I've been doing it since I was probably graduated high school, and that was a long time ago. So if I mentioned some of the artists that I was inspired by, half of your audience probably wouldn't know who they are.
That is one of the questions coming up. Who inspires your
Oh,
music?
okay.
You can go with Taylor Swift. That works.
Oh, no. No, I have much respect for her as a businesswoman now and for her songwriting skills, but I can't say that that was my influence of growing up. I was more of a oh my, Barbara Mandrell, Donna Fargo, Reba. You know, I was more all that direction, more so than the first two songs I ever sung were Connie Smith's songs, you know, and half the people don't even, you know, the younger generation doesn't really know who they are. But I like to say back when country was really good. Really good.
I have laid claim. This is my claim for Dawn Rix. This is Mark Peterson speaking. No one else has to. I said that you are the Barbara Mandrell of veteran musicians.
Oh, well, you know what? I would take that as a diehard compliment because it was funny. People reference that a lot. It's probably the hair, but I mean, I loved watching her on TV. I wanted to have her clothes. I wanted to be able to play instruments, which I don't do, but we actually put a side by side of her black and white photo and my black and white photo probably about 2 months ago when we posted it, and there was a pretty good resemblance, and I'll take that as a compliment. I mean, she's I'll take it as a compliment. Let's just say that. Even the phrasing of my wording when I'm singing, some of my stage presence, some of my facial expressions, the whole nine. So I would love to be able to collaborate with her. Like I would love to do a classic duet kind of remake album with all of the people that are alive that Donna Fargo and Reba and Dolly and Barbara and even Connie Smith. It would be so cool to go back and sing their songs with them, making that little girl's dream kind of come true. So that'd be very cool.
This is completely off the subject, but on the subject. I think in the 4th grade, I got to see Louise Mandrell, her sister.
Oh, yeah. And
I got to be in a meet and greet with her, and she kissed me, just so everyone knows.
All right.
R.C. Bannon was sitting right there next to her. That was her husband at the time. But I said, brother, back off. Louise and I, not Louise. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, Louise and I, we got this. That's what 4th graders do. I mean, I knew what I was doing. She didn't return my call. Yeah.
It was a gigolo. Yeah.
Yeah. When you got it, you got it.
That's right. I know. I feel your pain, brother.
I was going to say was.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I just saw Tom T. Hall the week before, so that lets you know, like, what I was listening to back when I was a kid.
Big time. Yes, that's big time, brother.
Sneaky Snake, Go Dancing, A Wiggle In, and I got that one too. The music that has come out in the years and what we are doing now, it's amazing to watch in the history, and you're part of that history. And so thank you for all the hard work you do, not only as a musician, but all the pieces that you do. We're not done talking to you, Dawn. You got to stay here for a minute too. And again, everyone knows that where there comes a point where you got to hard out and go and get out of here. We completely understand and respect that. I want to make sure everyone knows they can do that. But Amanda, tell me what this pinup girl stuff is. What is that?
So the history of pinup actually began in 1940s period, where the soldiers, I was probably earlier than that, they would literally take out pictures out of magazines, and they happened to be girls, and they would pin them up on the wall. So that's the history of Pinup on their bunks, wherever, you know, just because a lot of them didn't have people to write back to. I always tell people, but to tell people nowadays, it's kind of a Marilyn Monroe, Betty Page. But then I realized that a lot of people don't know who Marilyn Monroe and Betty Page and even the Anderson sisters, a lot of younger crowd don't know who that is. So a lot of us girls in our platoon actually live the lifestyle. Me and a couple other girls, we actually have the victory rolls, have the rockabilly look on a daily basis, except when I'm on the motorcycle. So I kind of live a dual life. And that's kind of what I was doing earlier. Is I was doing the motorcycle old lady, and then I came home and switched to the pinup. I do that a lot, quite a bit. I wear many hats. Like I said, my husband calls me a professional volunteer because I volunteer for 4 different organizations, and I really don't know how to say no when it comes to anything veteran related. And I can contest that my husband and my best friend both, you know, I don't know how to say no. So I get a lot of,
You have to rein her in.
yeah, rein me in sometimes. I've always had a huge passion for veterans. My daddy was a huge patriotic man, so I feel like I get that from him. I've always lived the lifestyle. I've always had that old soul. My parents were older. I grew up with Patsy Cline, CCR, so I'm a huge, I guess, just old soul. So I've always loved the 50s lifestyle. I guess kind of a more modern twist to it just because I have tattoos, but I still believe in the 50s lifestyle. I love my husband. I'm a very 50s housewife type to my husband. But I've always loved the rockabilly 50s lifestyle.
We always talk about she actually grew up in the wrong era.
Yes.
She could have grown up back then.
I'm not a huge modern music lover. We were actually just talking about the sisters. I mean, sisters, yeah, like literally we were just talking about it last night, watching that show. And we actually stayed in the Patsy Cline house in January. It's in Nashville. It is the coolest thing ever. I would love to move that house and move it on our acreage because it's amazing, all the way down to the Lucite toilets. It is the most amazing house ever. It was the house that she had bought with her and her husband before she was in the plane accident, and that was going to be her dream home. And her husband and family owned it for a long time, and they ended up selling it, but now they've restored it back to what it was, and it's beautiful. But yes, I am a professional volunteer. I volunteer for multiple organizations, including Reeves Across America, and that's how we met.
What is the official color of the curls? Is there a standard you're going with here? What?
That's I call it Henri Red.
My road name is Henri, and my husband's motorcycle club. And I always tell people that I am introverted. That's why I got that road name.
Yeah.
He's one of the million. His organization is one of the millions of things that I volunteer for and have a passion for. I'm just going to let him talk a little bit because I feel like I'm talking.
It wasn't my question.
They're called victory rolls. There's multiple different ways you can do them. I either wear this or I wear kind of a Rosie the Riveter look on a daily basis. And I get a lot of times people think it's a wig. It's not a wig.
Or a costume.
Or a costume. We've been called multiple things as Battlin Betties. When we go out in public, we have a garage shirt and people call us a bowling team, a girl gang. What costume party are you going to? We've been called a lot of different.
They ask where we're performing.
All
So
positive.
a lot. I mean, they're all positive, of course. People think that we should be like the Anderson sisters or USO Anderson sisters and USO girls and perform. You know, apparently we sing and dance. Apparently, but no, we mainly do events for veterans and first responders. Anything related to that. So yeah.
I'm trying to frame around a question here because why Battlin Betties? Why the pinup? Why? I mean, what's the draw? What's the expression? What? Tell me more.
Well,
I'm intrigued.
So I didn't start the original Battlin Betties. So it was started in 2016, I believe, by a lady, and actually her name is Amanda and her husband's name is Jeremy, and that's actually how I got introduced to it. She was a military wife. Her husband had severe PTSD, and she wanted to spread the awareness, spread education to society, about veterans, about PTSD, about how to communicate with veterans, and then show a love for veterans and first responders. I just happened to come across her on social media of all things, and it was funny because we had the same name, so we began talking about different things with veterans and pinup. Like I said, I've always dressed in rockabilly, I guess, decor or style, I guess. And so she actually posted something one day and I said, hey, I'm interested in doing that. And it just took off. I started in the platoon in Tennessee in 2019. There is 20 or so other platoons all over the United States that do the same thing. We have since then, the national leader kind of stepped down. Her husband's PTSD unfortunately got too severe, and that was her main focus. So we all have state autonomy. We all do the same thing. Some may be a nonprofit, some may just a social club where they support other events. We all still support events, but sometimes we just do it under not the nonprofit status. So, and it's funny because the actual Battlin Betties logo, it has red hair. So a lot of people think that it's presented on me, but it's not. So it's just kind of a fun thing. There's a lot of girls, like I said, that live the lifestyle. So they just want to help. They have a big heart. They have a big passion about helping veterans. We have a lot of veteran spouses in our organization. We have a lot of veterans in our organization. And a lot of people that just care about veterans, because why not? I always say, like my daddy always said, they're the reasons why we're here. This is the reason why we have that freedom, is because of a veteran. And if you can't show that appreciation, then like you said, get out. Because I think America is the most greatest country ever. So
I love that. Yeah. I've been to a few countries, both military-wise, non-military-wise, and just been over in the former Soviet. I got the privilege to play professional football over there, and we are blessed in America. Of course, let's solve this. I mean, that might be a privilege thing there, and I can understand that. And I know some people don't think that they're so blessed and privileged in this space, but if you have not been over in that space, then you really have nothing to say. And every opportunity you need is available to you in this country. I'm sorry. I've seen it all. Been there.
Talk about you. I'm telling Jeremy he needs to talk about him.
Yeah, talk about you, Jeremy.
Oh, sure. How about we'll continue to talk about pinups. I think personally, that the pinup is a nostalgic thing that, believe it or not, the older veterans takes them back to the time when they were in the military. And that is therapy for them. And we're all thankful that there's people like these beautiful ladies who do stuff like that. Because if you can get the elderly veterans like that to go back and reminisce and remember because you'd be surprised how many of these elderly veterans, their faces light up and the smiles get bigger and bigger and bigger every time these ladies show up to something like that. And that is enough for them to do what they do. So I'm thankful to be a part of it. So it's spectacular. So that I'm not talking about me.
Fair enough. We'll do that for another show. We'll get you back on.
You bet.
I'm intrigued by all of it because there is a nostalgia. I mean, to be honest with you, and I think Harley does a piece to it. I know Indian Motorcycle does a whole line of pinup line. And again, it goes back to the nostalgia of what America once was. and
Yep.
it's appreciated. I think it's a missed piece. The classic apple pie, America, baseball, Chevrolet. Not that we're doing a sponsorship for Chevrolet or anything like that, but whatever happened to getting together as a community and doing the fireworks and knowing that everyone was going to be safe and you don't have to worry about if your children are going to be abducted or if someone was going to bring a firearm, or there might have been firearms there, but no one was ever threatened to be shot in a scene or a scenario there. None of that stuff exists anymore, and it's like
I would say the more simpler time. It's the more simpler time.
Exactly.
Or were we just naive to what was happening even back then? That's my question. But the times where the times that I kind of ponder most on in life is when I didn't have this damn thing.
Yeah. The thing about it is that was back in a time where neighbors cared for each other. You cared for your neighbor. Now you don't have that. Now all you have is armed, keyboard warriors who think they know everything about everything. And nobody ever gets out of their house and socializes like they used to back in that time. And it's all about me now. It's what can I get for me instead of trying to say, hey, what can I do for my neighbor? And therein lies the problem.
Yeah.
It's a selfish society. It's a selfish world. And it's unfortunate that we've lost our way. What
happened to like we were just talking about the time in the 50s where you kept your business to yourself, no matter your opinion about things. You keep your politics, your sexuality, your religion, everything that is between you and your husband or you and your family.
You can leave your front door unlocked in your neighborhood and know that your neighbor's going to look out for you. So you can't do that.
The simple thing of drinking out of a water hose, like that isn't even
true. As an entertainer, I don't mean to interrupt, but as an entertainer, when you're out and you're singing a patriotic song or God Bless the USA or whatever it might be, there was a time when you would say, hey, let's stand for those who can't stand, or let's take off our hats or whatever. And you'd be amazed at how many people don't stand or don't take off their hat or don't, and again, of course we could get into this whole conversation is that's their right. That's what we fought for, But as a veteran, as an entertainer, growing up for me, that was unspoken rule. You just did it. You didn't, you stood, you put your hand on your heart. You took your hat off. At least you showed some type of respect that way. And you were proud. There was just this inner pride thing that you had it was an unspoken rule. And for me to go out there, we're holding a flag, we're singing, whether it be the national anthem or whether it be, God Bless the USA, we've asked them to join in. You may even be at a veterans type of club, and you have people who are talking through the whole thing, sitting there, not taking off their hat. And yet you have a veteran there that just turned 99, right? You have another one there who is missing a limb. You have all kinds. And I'm looking around, I'm looking at them thinking how disrespectful it is that you could stand, you could do these things. And they're right. You have veterans right beside of you, and you couldn't show 2 minutes and 50 seconds or 3 minutes and 10 seconds of just a little bit of.
Because if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't be there.
Well, I think the issue is where we've lost our way is taking it out of school. Every one of us learned all of that in school.
Oh, the Pledge of Allegiance. That was a gift.
How many kids today do you think know the Pledge of Allegiance? I bet you that percentage is very low because they don't teach it anymore.
Yeah. I know you have one of those songs, Mark. I know you have In America. And that whole message through that song is about the things that we take for granted. And it's kind of a unity type of song, and everything that you all are talking about, everything that you're saying, that's one song. Mark and Andrea, I think that one there would be very fitting.
To let it roll. This is Dawn Rix. in America.
There's a rise in violent crime. Taxes are too high. Acid rain falls from the sky. In America, we agree things aren't what they should be, but still we see apathy, and everyone's so hard to please in America. Sometimes I take for granted what God has given me and forget that I'm living in the land of the free. I should be ashamed when I complain that I don't have what I need, when there are people in the world who would give anything just to be in America. A football game on an autumn day, before a single play is made, we all bow our heads to pray in America. March for peace down a city street. Some believe, some disagree, but we all have the right to speak in America. Sometimes I take for granted what God has given me and forget that I'm living in the land of the free. I should be ashamed when I complain that I don't have what I need, when there are people in the world who would give anything just to be in America. Are we too blinded by our greed to stop and take a look and change what we know can be better and appreciate the good? Oh, my country, 'tis the thee, land that I love. Our words too seldom spoken here in America. Sometimes I take for granted what God has given me and forget that I'm living in the land of the free. I should be ashamed when I complain that I don't have what I need. There are people in the world who would give anything just to be in America. Oh, say, can you see?
That is Dawn Rix in America. And it finally happened. It finally happened. That the most pivotal moment of the song, and it's going over Devil's Tower in Wyoming with the American flag, and it's beautiful because it's in Wyoming, of course, and no one can hear any of you, and that's perfect in the way we like it. No, I'm joking. You gotta have your voices. What do you think? What do you think about that, Eichmann?
I think I said you're a dork, but I don't disagree. Look what I found while you were doing. Oh, it's
Yeah.
See that big fat head up in the right? That's not Don. I'm over there working. That's Yeah, I'm in there. I'm in the picture, folks. I'm in there. We got a cleaner shot of that somewhere.
I know it didn't come out very well. It's because it's on my iPhone pictures, and they don't really. I had to run it through Canva. See, that's not very good either.
I think Cody Howell was on the stage when that picture was taken, and no one wants to miss Cody Howell. Cody Howell, that's good stuff. And then Dawn was up there. That was at the Tin Roof. Yeah. The original Tin Roof, because there's two of them in Nashville. So we came on, we shared who we were, we griped and complained a little bit. Now we can talk about how we're going to fix it. How are we fixing it, Amanda, Jeremy, and Sarah? Sarah, get your face in there. You can't, no part-time in there. Tell us this is Sarah talking. Sarah, you talk. Tell us how we're fixing it. It's all on you now.
Oh, put me on the spot.
I scooted the camera over. I scooted the camera over.
I know, right? So the way I believe one possible solution is for folks like all of us continuing the good fight, doing what we do, tighten our bootstrings, and just keep going. Just keep going, spreading the good word, taking care of people, and sharing the compassion that we have.
You're not wrong. You're What is the Battlin Betties? What's the next big thing for Battlin Betties?
We are helping with U.S. Veterans Motorcycle Club Poker Run, which is this Saturday, May 10th at the VFW in Dixon, Tennessee. We're going to be helping and assisting with that.
Yeah.
We have a car show in August. I believe it's August the 30th. We host a car, bike, and pinup contest. This will be our 4th annual show at the VFW. And we're assisting with a lot of different events. One of the many organizations that I volunteer for is the Middle Tennessee Veterans Coalition. Basically, our goal is to collaborate, educate, and work with resources around Middle Tennessee to help veterans, assist veterans, and assist those resources and businesses that help the veterans in our area. We are having a salute to heroes concerts and vendor fair. We're having about 6 different artists. One at the end is guitar for veterans, and there's going to be a group of veterans that are going to play there. We're going to have vendors there, veteran resources there. We're going to have a kids area, and we're going to be part of that. We're going to have a booth there as well as assisting. Let's see. We have a wellness check planned in June. We're going to visit the Dixon County, Tennessee Fire Department. I'm trying to think of any others. We assist the VFW. We're going to be putting flags at the Middle Tennessee Veteran Cemetery. We're going to be putting flags out there with the local Boy Scouts, and then we assist the VFW as well and do that for Memorial Day.
And of course, Reefs Across America.
And then, of course, Reefs Across America.
Slow down. You're making me look bad.
Yeah, I'm currently me alone. I'm planning or assisting and planning 6 different events with all my organizations this year. So when I say I'm a professional volunteer, it's true.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do. I think it's fabulous. I think it's great. Very, very cool.
Like you said, it kind of, I have a lot of health issues, and I'm a very stubborn person, so I don't know how to say no and to rest. And so it takes my mind off of personal anxiety or depression that I may have. And like I said before, why wouldn't you want to help with any veteran organization? Because of that 90-year-old that's sitting in a wheelchair, you wouldn't have that freedom. So anything with veterans, I always say that I'm my daddy's daughter, because I literally will go to either one, beautiful men, or two, veterans, and tell them, thank you for my freedom. I don't say thank you for my service. I say thank you for my freedom. So I just go to random people. And I remember my daddy, when I was younger and growing up, he used to get a roll of stickers. They were flag stickers. He would carry them in his back pocket and randomly go up to people and just put it on their chest. And as a kid, I was so embarrassed. But as an adult and a volunteer for veterans, it took very pride in my dad. So I'm trying not to cry because my dad passed away.
How unfortunate that it takes, a process of living to understand the what these gestures replicate in our world. And again, having spent time with you, Amanda, and knowing the conversation and the relationship you had with your father, I mean, it's what a tough life lesson, to be honest with you. And I'm bringing that up only for the sake of all the things that we've talked about tonight. I think there are going to be some very tough life lessons for the members of this country coming up here soon. And I don't want to be a pessimist. I really want to be an optimist, because we are leading the charge. We are doing mindset conversations. We do want the version of us tomorrow to be better than the version of us today. We want to make sure that all these, and we constantly spill this into the world. Let's grow, let's have fun, let's enjoy life. All these are super simple, but yet we're nitpicking and trying to create these cleavages between the left and the right and the other nasty crap that's out there. And I
don't mean to cut you off, but I think we need to get out of the what's in it for me mentality and start focusing on what can I do for mankind. And as long as we continue, the group of us continue to do what we do without the expectation of reciprocation. Does that make sense? Without the expectation of somebody doing something for me just because I'm doing something for them. We can get more people to do that, and I think we're heading down the right path. But we got to get out of that what's in it for me mentality, and I think that's a very tough path to go. But as long as we keep doing what we're doing and fighting that fight, I think we can get there.
Yeah. As long as there's people out there that like us and who have good hearts with no motive, just good intention. Not expecting anything in return. That's not why you do it.
Right.
Knowing what your purpose is, being passionate about it, and then just locking arms with one another, being a good listener, and being there to support people who need a listening ear, and just being brave enough to ask for help or to offer help or to make those phone calls like he was saying, or send those text messages. We can't save the world, but one by one we can try. We can try to do our best and give our energy to those things as opposed to the social media things and the all of the doom and gloom stuff you were talking about earlier. There's enough of that feeds our brains on the daily. And so if we could kind of tune in to our heart and what our intentions are and tune everything else out, I think we'd all be better off. And thanks to organizations like yours and the fact that you guys are having us on to share what we do and what we love, and offer this platform for veterans and EMS people and all that, like, we're doing it. And it ain't bragging if you're doing it, right? That's what someone told me one time. It ain't bragging if you do it. So, we brag that we do it and try to encourage other people to get involved. We don't brag on our good gestures. That's from the heart. But I think this is a nice way. Like you said, it's a nice outlet. And I think if we link arms and go about our way, if we can make a difference in one person's life, that's a good thing.
Yeah, my mama always said, do good things for good people and good things will come back to you. And I wish more people would have that perspective.
Yeah.
Be a good person. As long as you're a good person in this world, I think that would make it a whole lot better place.
For sure.
It's Randy, thank you for your comments. I could be wrong, but I feel this is the first time we've seen Randy in our network. Thank you for being here, and please come back.
My best friend from high school.
Oh, that's Jeremy's best friend from high school.
Yes.
Oh.
Cool.
I just saw his name. As soon as you said Randy, I looked at the text and said, okay. Hey.
Come back
I didn't
again.
even know. Hi, Randy. I didn't even know him.
So there's this analogy that I've used for years. It's about a young boy that's running up and down the beach, and there's starfish all over the beach, and the starfish are not going to make it. They're just not. And the boy is running up and down, and he's grabbing one and he's throwing it back into the water, and he grabs another one and throws it back in the water, and there's thousands of these starfish. And this is the old, of course, it's a wise man. Is out there, and he's like, what are you doing, kiddo? You're never going to make a difference. And the young boy reaches down one more time and he throws it into the water, another one into the water, and he goes, you know what? I think I made a difference for that one. And so that's the piece we have to remember. And again, I can sit here and, we've got our black guy in Minnesota, $250 million going to a bunch of turd knockers that decided that they thought they needed the money during COVID instead of the kids and feed the kids and the Feed the Kids program. And it's just like, you're not gonna ruin my stride, brother. We are going to continue. We are going to get up every day. I go to bed with no guilt on my every single night, knowing that we are doing stuff. When we get the phone calls, when we get the conversations, when people have reached out and said, you've made a difference in my life because of the things that you're doing. There's my truth. I selfishly do the People's Patriot Project. Selfishly. Because you know what? It makes me feel good. And I know that I'm taking care of other people. And you know what? Sometimes I do posts and people get a little snarky with me, or, well, why are you posting this? It's all about you. The reason why I post this is to show you can do something. You don't have to sit there and type on your little typewriter. And the thing is, we see enough of the nasty. We see enough. We hear the stories. They want to keep us in that piece. It's fear baiting, folks. I'm telling you right now. You are being fear baited. The conversations are made to scare you. They are doing it to make you think that we are in trouble and that we're in dyers. You're being fear baited. And we will get this. We will get it done, and we will build something amazing and beautiful. But not if you're not part of it. You can't be it if you're not part of it. So if you're not part of it, that's on you. Because we welcome and invite everyone to be part. A, of the show, B, of the mission, C, in all these people's lives. And we can get her done. We can get her done. We will get her done. Well, you know what? If it's one starfish, it's one starfish. I'm thinking the six of us can do more than one starfish. But that is my frustration when we talk about there are 58,000 organizations in our country saying they're helping veterans and first responders. 58,000 organizations. We still have 6,000 men and women killing themselves every year.
Yeah.
So we're not getting the job done, folks. Stop taking, start giving, and get rid of this little side nonsense and stuff. I've been in the MC world. I've done that part. Me and Jeremy talked about that in the past, and I can't handle all the drama. I can't. It's one MC against the MC. Patch me now, patch me later, whatever. And again, I love our brothers who are doing it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Jeremy, carrying the load in that space. But we got to work on this together. And if we're not doing it together, Dawn, take off, sister. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll come.
Thank you.
get
I'm sorry. I have to. I have to go take care of my son. I'm sorry. They're looking at me like, hurry up. So, God bless you guys for what you do, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I want to partner up with you guys. I'm like in all of it all. So thank you guys. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Dawn.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
All right, put the good-looking line up on top like it's supposed to be. And the older line. I don't know why you get to be up there, Jeremy, but whatever.
I'm in the bottom corner, my friend. In the shadows, doing all the hard work.
Just sitting there looking pretty.
Look at that. You're
sitting there looking pretty.
Looking pretty, all of you. I'm just testing this, see if it works. Does it work?
I see a Venmo looks like little tiny.
Here we go. Got a better one. Got a better one. Oh yes, that one works. We were just talking about wanting to start a campaign. We got a little conversation going on in the background. We just heard some requests from a lot of people today and in the last few days, and we want to help all of them. But right now we're working on one particular person that we would really like to support as they're going through a little, I guess, medical kind of hardship. And it's just taken away from the whole family. And so really, sometimes we need things, things and repairs and replacements and whatever. This time, honestly, we just need to help replace wages lost at this point, rent money, grocery money, vehicle money. I just sent a note out to friends, and we're grabbing some donations for this right now. And I've never done this before. I'm like, why don't I just put Venmo right on here? It's really weird. So this goes to our Patriot Project Venmo, and I've been asking for so many wreath sponsors lately. This is not a wreath sponsorship this time, you guys. This is cash for a person who needs a little bump right now. So, and it's a person who's given a lot and given up a lot. So if you can find it in your heart, I'll pop this up a couple more times throughout the show. I don't know if it works when I put it up in this space, but we can always give it a try. Thank you, those of you that might be contemplating this. It is much, much, much appreciated. Thank you. Sorry, I was not trying to interrupt, but
you put it over Peterson's face too.
I know. Look at that. I hit Peterson's big fat head that he puts. I'm just kidding.
It was a better look for all of you. Sadly, we're going to have to get Sarah to lean over into the picture when you got that up in the you don't want to know what we're doing behind the thing there.
I already told them, don't pick your noses, kids. We can see you.
Oh my goodness. I literally was crying and wiping my nose. My bad. Jeremy's Get Things Done. Yes. There's a Jeremy. Yes. Jeremy gets things done.
That's right. We try.
Oh, why does it keep going? Is that you, Eichmann?
Are you fighting me, Peterson? I never run the controls. Here I am. Fighting me.
We'll do one more of Dawn's songs here before we close, and but again, we won't have her intro to it, but that's okay. You just shared what's the next big things for you guys. Do we want to play a Rick song and then come back and do our final thoughts, or do we want to do final thoughts and then we'll do a song on and out?
I don't know. I mean, you could show some of our pictures if you want. I sent Eichmann, I don't know, 2,000 million pictures.
Here's where this platform is amazing, except every time you want to put a new picture in, it only lets you have like 6 pictures at a time.
I was going to say, or to put our Facebook pages up there, maybe.
I was going to say, let me do this. Yeah. We shared the other day.
Shameless plugs are always great.
Shameless plugs.
Shameless plugs. And you guys should go. Here's one of the things that we find a little bit difficult. Oh, here we go. Is like, I can post your stuff when you send it to me, but it's going to get buried in messages and then I'll forget. But you should go on all of our pages. Plus, like, I'm always we have people all across the country, and I'm like, sponsor wreaths for Fort Snelling. And I don't know if people in Tennessee, maybe a couple care, but they, you know what I mean? So I'd love to cross post our cemeteries. I mean, we get people from all over the country that send, and I have an uncle in Hawaii as well. But like, I think we have to cross reference, because then we can just reach that many more people that might not be right in our space. Okay, watch this. I think I can share. Let me make sure I get the right one though. I think I can share some pics and you can.
Well, just like Peterson said, there's so many veteran and first responder organizations out there. And the one thing that I notice, just as a frustrating point, just in our community, we have so many organizations. And if we're all willing to work together instead of having the me mentality, I think that we would make bigger effect, huge effect. If people would work together. And that's the hard thing. Me in the volunteer organization, I feel that is, there's us at the VFW. I mean, the VA hospital. But I feel like if a lot of people would just do that and put your pride aside, I think a lot of times being our organization or being, that was in Montana, being in Jeremy's organization, if you just work together and we do things for veterans, we don't do things for the notoriety, we don't do things for the accolades. I've always just worked for veterans. And if people have that more mentality, I feel like you would get a lot more things done. That was in Montana. That is all the motorcycles from across U.S. veterans nationwide.
That is cool. Oh, look at you guys.
That is the majority. Yeah, that actually was taken at the Patsy Cline house, actually.
Oh my gosh. Look at those shoes sticking out on the bottom. Those are adorable.
Yes. Sarah always has the cutest shoes because I'm a baby giraffe in heels.
Oh, well,
and that is at our car show, I believe. And that's Gino. He is the previous coordinator of Wreaths Across America for Middle Tennessee State Veteran Cemetery. And you can tell that I say that a lot. He passed down the torch to me and Jeremy a year ago. Yeah. Well, it's been a year and a half ago. We're working on our second year. Oh, there's my AJ Diamonds. That is my pinup name. It actually stems from when me and my husband lived in Oklahoma. Me and him played in multiple poker tournaments at casinos, bars, everything. That's actually how me and my husband met. And it's my first and middle initial, A and J, and then Diamonds. So, of course, Ace and Jack of Diamonds, but that's my pinup name.
Oh, smart. Smart.
That is at the Murfreesboro Fire Department. We cooked dinner for the fire department in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Yes. Okay.
Murfreesboro. I love Murfreesboro.
Yes. That is at the honor flight at the Nashville airport. So twice a year, we welcome ranging from, I believe, World War II Vietnam veterans. They go on an honor flight to Washington, D.C. They take them to multiple veteran exhibits, monuments. And a lot of them are Vietnam veterans that did not get the proper welcome when they came home. And so the objective of the honor flight is to welcome those veterans home like they should have received when they served. So we go to the Nashville airport and we welcome them home. I believe that was taken with the Women's DAR. I'm not exactly what it stands for, but they are another great veteran support organizations that are all ladies, and they actually do support the Wreaths Across America for Middle Tennessee State Veteran Cemetery as well.
Yeah, Daughters of the American Revolution.
Yes, Daughters, there it is. Yes.
Super supportive up here too. In fact, Claudia is our grave specific coordinator, and she's from one of the groups, the DAR groups, and just amazed. She just took it over from day one, and she's like, I'll do this part. And I think we had 1,500 grave specifics last year. We only had 18,000 wreaths. So yeah, there's a potential to,
I was going to say we had over 1,200 Gray Pacifics, and we have 14,000. Yeah, that's more honor flight.
Oh, there's another
honor flight.
Yeah,
So
another
this,
honor
this
flight.
is that's a prime example of what I was talking about for the older veterans that can see the pinups like that. It takes them back and you know to their younger years, and it's fascinating their reaction whenever they see the pinups coming at them like that. It's fascinating.
Yeah, the very first picture that you showed was at the VA. That was at our pinup contest. And we raised money at, so U.S. Veterans Poker Run and our car show, we both raised money for the Middle Tennessee Race Across America. That is our Battle of the Branches. It's just a fun way. We actually were at American Legion dinner. We do a fundraiser called Battle of the Branches, and it's just kind of a fun way to collect donations. And you receive, people can vote for their favorite branch, and we kind of do kind of a little contest where who's going to win, which branch is the favorite. And most of the time it's Army and Marines.
Yeah.
I'll let my husband.
Yeah, so that's our clubhouse in Alabama State, down in Fort Rucker, Alabama.
With Aaron Lewis.
And that was with Aaron Lewis. I'm sure you're familiar with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So he rode with us down there at a poker run we did down there in Lower Alabama. That's our clubhouse down there.
I love, and everything can be outdoors, not like up here.
Yeah.
That is in Georgia. They have a clubhouse down in Talking Rock, Georgia, and we were actually at Mission 22 event for that.
Yep.
And that is the U.S. Veterans of Battlin Betties. That was our check presentation picture to our community. We raised a little over 7,000, 8,000 for presenting to Reeves Across America from both organizations.
Awesome. Awesomeness.
And that's actually at Reeves Across America, I believe last year.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. See what they're wearing, Peterson? We're freezing our heinies off.
You
Yeah.
wear that next year, Miss Aikman, to the
I have the joy because I'm the coordinator. I don't freeze my hiney off. So they I feel for my Battlin Betties. And that's my amazing husband. He doesn't know that I sent that picture to you, so now he knows.
That's you looking all
I'm very proud of my husband, so of course I'm gonna.
It's almost stalkerish. I mean, seriously.
I will admit that.
I'm thinking about getting an RTO.
Yeah. I am very proud to admit it's probably stalkerish because he's the best thing that's ever happened to me. So I will admit that.
It's gotta be.
Go little girl, you do it.
Yeah, it's fine. I've had 2 abusive relationships before, so I deserved it.
You got there.
Oh, shucks. And Sarah came completely out of the picture.
She's disappearing on that. So Jeremy's are get things done, and then Jeremy's been doing some
55 organizations, only 273 different missions with zero coordination. Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
It's amazing what pride can do.
It is.
A lot of people, don't want to put their pride aside and work for the mission.
Right.
Well, that's personal pride, not patriot pride. That's
right. Personal pride.
Right. True.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
We'll say patriot pride all day long, brothers and sisters.
All
Boom.
day.
Mic drop.
All day.
Yep. Oh, craziness.
So I did hear that there's not going to be a stem to stone this year, but I'm not for sure. My liaison told me there was, and then I saw on the coordinator's page that there was no stem to stone. So I'm confused. So we'll see if we see you. If we'll see you this year.
Huh. Yeah, because I was already thinking I'd love to go eat some more blueberries for sure.
Yes. And Jeremy is looking forward to more lobster.
No, I'm not.
Gladly share mine with anybody.
Yeah,
I
they can have.
appreciate it.
Don't be giving that away.
They can have all that lobster they want. I'm not a fan.
Yep. Yeah.
I know that sounds hootin' folks. I get it, but this is what Maine does. They live with it in that area, and we got the blessing, and I will call it a blessing. And apparently, Andrea and Jeremy don't think it's a blessing, but that's okay too. But like they have a fisherman that goes and gets the lobster just for this event, and so it's a friend of the family, and I just. Again, we get into that taker thing, and it's like we didn't go there so we could eat lobster. That's not the whole thing.
Absolutely right. Well, and it doesn't get any fresher. That lobster wasn't. You couldn't get any fresher. He actually went out that morning and got all that lobster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's not about that kind of recognition. We weren't there to eat Maine lobster at all. We were there for a purpose, and the benefit, and the organization that does this is we all needed to go up and represent what we're doing and make sure that.
Well, and it's good to see other people that have that passion,
the same passion
to take care of those veterans.
Well, the crazy part was I was going there to learn about Wreaths Across America.
Yes.
And what I learned while I was there was the character of Merrill Worcester and his family, and what they put together over the years, and how they have an unfloundering respect for what they have in this world, and that the guy will go to all lengths to share about patriotism, to teach people about the men and women who have served, to honor those that have served, not only on the national cemeteries, but for like even the Tiger Flight, where he set up the memorial there on his own property because DC won't do it for them. And just the unwavering patriotism. I mean,
all the way down to the point where the man bought a crane just so he could fly the American flag.
Yeah.
Who does that?
That man.
That guy.
I'm like, and we got to witness that. That was the most amazing thing ever.
We took part in that. That was fascinating.
Well, in the crazy pieces, you can get online and find just the nastiness towards their family and
right.
And you know what? I mean, I have the conversation. It's frustrating for me to pay for wreaths, and I say this. It's frustrating for me to pay for wreaths and memorials, stone memorials across our country to show the work that men and women have done when we've got people standing with some and no limbs and struggling because we made you a weapon and told you to deal with it. Yeah. And that's where we're at. And so, and again, I don't fault our government. I just fault people in general. Because, here's the deal.
Mankind.
If someone is hurting, pick them up.
That's right.
If someone is broken, help them. If someone needs support, instead of mocking and mimicking them because, they're struggling, then help them. And it's not like you have to carry them. It's not like you have to own it. Just support it, and it's so simple and easy. It is.
You spend more effort on not doing something for somebody than you would if you actually helped somebody out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick song because we got to get this. No, okay, I lied. Let's not do a quick song because I just looked at the time and we're running on to our 2-hour slot that Andrea doesn't like it when we do. So this is what we'll do. We will now do our final thoughts, and then we'll out on a Dawn Rix song is what we'll do. Don't go anywhere after the fact because we can do a post-show collaboration piece. But final thoughts, Andrea, shoot.
Oh, crap. I was making it. Jonathan, where's Jonathan? Okay, so I wanted to actually keep in mind because I did the news for Jonathan and because I had read through the news a couple of times earlier, focusing on It's Military Appreciation Month. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it is Month of the Military Caregiver. And that's a lot of military focus, but it's also a mental health focus. And we know that if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't be good for others. And I'm going under and around and behind anyone who's listening who is a service person. You got to take care of yourself. Okay. You can't be good for the world or for your families if you don't take care of yourselves. And so I do have to say, one of the things that when Peterson was talking earlier about people are surprised that we answer the phone or that we answered or that we were right there. Another piece is I have zero judgment. I'm a civilian. I'm thankful. And I've always been aware of any police presence, any firefighters in the area, anyone who is waking up at all hours to go. I mean, when I was a kid, it was all volunteers. And we used to, as kids, just go watch them with such enamorment for what they were doing, to see them jump out of their trucks and put their uniforms on and all the way down and then go, I mean, it was a thing. So I'm on that side, but I will listen, and there is zero judgment, and we can figure out what needs to happen next. Maybe nothing. Maybe you just need to talk it out. I mean, sometimes saying stuff out loud is such good therapy. And sometimes you need to say it out loud and then have better advice than what I've got. And maybe you just need to get away for a few days. And so that's what we're here for. That's what we do. If your cause, your case, your issue is, I mean, shoot, if we got $2,500 in our coffers and you need 5 mortgage payments, we won't be able to help, but we won't stop until we find help. I mean, that's just where we are. We will help you get straightened out. And I've even battled with apartment complex managers about they never answered their phone and never called me back. But anyway, and then they want to know, why am I here helping this person move out? Well, because she's upside down in her rent and you won't answer your phone. Well, she can't leave. She owes me money. Okay, let me repeat myself. 5 months ago, I tried to help you figure out this rent, right? So anyway, we will do the battle. But on that line, we all. And again, as we always say, it's sometimes the one who looks like they've got it all together that we need to check on. And so if you need it, if you know someone or think someone needs it, Peterson and I are very good about being like, hey, we saw you on social media. You're a friend of a friend. We just do this thing where we check in with people. We can do that. They don't need to know you told them that. So anyway, reach out. Peterson's number is everywhere. If he's not there, I'm there. We're there. Send us a message, whatever you got to do. Thank you. See, it wasn't very scary, Amanda, was it? You're here and it was fine. Peterson's not mad. He just always seems mad.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I was like, except when he uses a drunk picture from a bachelorette party. It's fine. It's fine.
You know what? I never thought that. That's funny.
No one would have ever thought that. That's your...
You were just so happy. I don't know what he. Like you really had to search for that picture, because I was telling Sarah, I was like, "How did he find that picture?" Like I was like going like this through all my pictures, and I'm a selfie queen. So the fact that you went through that many pictures, Lord, there's some stalking issues going on.
Well,
there's the picture. Yay!
Did you do that? Stop fighting me. I took that.
So there were a lot of pictures prior to that one, but the vantage point may have been like focusing on other things too, and so there's
the truth comes out.
Well, yeah, there's one back here when she was 12. We can use that one.
I mean, there's pictures of that on there too.
Oh, you.
All right, final thoughts, Jeremy.
Yeah.
My final thought is I'm stealing your check your six work working with that, because that I hadn't thought about something like that, and that actually hits, because our club focuses on a lot on the 22 a day, right, and trying to get that down to 0 a day. And and just like any other organization, we struggle with keeping people out of their own heads and the demons at bay. And the 22 day is a prime example of not being able to keep your demons at bay or getting rid of them. And it takes an organization like mine, where we're a brotherhood, where it's our responsibility to check in on your brothers. And so that check your six is absolutely something I'm going to use, of course, with your permission. But that's very, very good information that I think is going to resonate throughout not just my organization, but anybody else that understands the premise behind it. So I thank you very much. It's very good information. So,
Amanda,
I don't even know how to follow that. Every time my husband speaks, I'm just in awe, because he knows how to tell someone eloquently, I can't even say the word, to F off, and I don't know how to say that. So I love to hear my husband. I don't really have any closing thoughts. Follow our page, Battlin Betties Tennessee Platoon. It's BATTLIN, no G. Betties Tennessee Platoon, and follow U.S. Veterans Motorcycle Club Tennessee. I always have to do that shameless plug. I think final thoughts is be kind, be a good person. I think that's the best advice that I want to give anyone. If you are doing something for the right reasons, then I feel you will do good things in the world. And that's all I've ever tried to be, as a good person. So I'm going to put Sarah on the spot. And
Sarah.
I'm also kind of following in Jeremy's and your footsteps. I'm going to take the check your six back to my side of the house in the EMS world, because any first responder organization is very similar to the military. We've all been there. So I think that's why a lot of veterans and active duty are drawn to being first responders, whether it's law, fire, or EMS. We all at the end of the day are fighting for the same thing, to keep our community safe and do what we can do to help. So, and just like in the military world, there are a lot of mental health issues. You see a lot of first responders getting burnt out and overwhelmed, and losing the good fight. So it's a brilliant way to not only remind ourselves to take care of ourselves, but to check in on our brothers and sisters out there. So I appreciate that. Paying it forward is definitely a great thing.
And not to steal, we call it Patriot Forward. And because that's what we call it, Patriot Forward. I had plenty of time to regurgitate my feelings and thoughts tonight, and just my opinions and ideas, and where I think we're at and where we're going. And bottom line is, my final thought is be better. It's that simple. We've grabbed onto this recently and just saying, just be better. And it's kind of funny because I know that drill sergeants across this country, when privates during basic training say sorry, don't be sorry, be better. And that's not really that hard to do. I am going to challenge you to grab a little, this one's larger than your normal Post-it card, but write it's be better on it and put it in your bathroom, or put it on a mirror in your room. It doesn't mean you're being bad. That's not, but we could always be better regardless. I mean, I love to cook. I sent a ugly amount of food porn to Miss Eichmann today in my world, and I'm always trying to make it better. And it's what recipe, what cook, what this. And again, it's just cooking food we eat every day. The People's Patriot Project for me is eating every day. It is being able to listen to the music of our musicians on WP3 Radio. That's exclusively veteran and first responders. That's it. That's 100% content on there was built by veterans and first responders. Why do I have WP3 Radio? I have WP3 Radio because it helps me remember and keep me centered in the reality that everything that I do, every breath I take, every road I drive down, the vehicle I drive, the bed I get to sleep in, or the couch I get to lie on, all these pieces were created for me because of men and women who have lost something. Everything. The fact I get to sit in here and run my mouth unchecked in a lot of ways is done because men and women have allowed us to do this. They bought it with their sweat, their blood, their limbs, their lives, their family members, their resources. I never stop realizing everything I got is because someone else. Doesn't mean I haven't worked hard to get what I got. And I do work hard. And I work hard for the purpose of having more. But there are, if you've not been overseas, if you've not been over in other countries, there are places and spaces where regardless of how hard you work, you get nothing back for yourself. And we got it. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you for your freedom, or my freedom. And thank you for coming and watching. We got your 6 at 6 every Sunday at 1800 Central Standard Time. Next week, we have James Ladabouche coming with us with Vet Maps, and we have Robert DePrato, a new musician in our network. And you get to hear Dawn Rix and all these musicians on WP3 Radio. Tomorrow at 4:30, we will be back here with the WP3 Weekly Debrief, and you'll get to hear the things we're working on. I'd like to have an update on this mission we're creating to help a veteran and a worker in our network that is kicking it out. We appreciate all those that come and are part of our show. We've already done our final thoughts. Anything anyone has that they want to say real quick before I punch in?
I think we're good.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Good to see
And
you
we
guys.
will see you all when the smoke clears. And this is, we'll go with Bent Not Broken by Dawn Rix.
Sinking deeper and deeper into a cold, dark place. Tears were falling, heart was calling for more of your grace. And just like it's always done, your voice lifts me up. I may be bent, but I'm not broken. I'll keep on fighting, I'll keep on going with unwavering faith. I'll shout it out so the whole world knows it. I'm bent, not broken. Every tear in my heart I know can be mended. I'll keep waiting and praying till the chaos has ended. Because of your perfect love, I know I'll rise above. I may be bent, but I'm not broken. I'll keep on fighting, I'll keep on going with unwavering faith. I'll shout it out so the whole world knows it. that I'm not broken. I'll keep on fighting, I'll keep on going. With unwavering faith, I'll shout it out so the whole